Mike, a very good morning to you. Firstly, what are depositors saying about the intervention by the Reserve Bank and Nedbank?
You are coming to us. Good morning and welcome. You're coming to us live from the Thohoyandou Indoor Sports Center. This is where Nedbank is busy. It was in a session with the clients of VBS. We are talking about people who were sleeping out in the cold, queuing very early in the morning so that they can get their monies in the bank. You'll remember back then they could only access 1,000 rand. But yesterday there was an announcement by the Reserve Bank to say that the clients can now start receiving their monies from Nedbank and they can receive as high as 100,000 rand. When we arrived here, Nedbank officials were already here. Their vehicles are parked outside. And on the hindsight, we also started at the VBS Bank in Thohoyandou in the city center. I can confirm to you that that place is deserted. People who used to sleep there are no longer there. They heard the message yesterday that if they want their monies, Nedbank is the bank that was chosen by the Reserve Bank to can assist in facilitating so that they can get all their monies. As you can see behind me, I'm surrounded by men and women who have been struggling for days to access their monies. And I'll also bring some of them just to tell us about their interaction with Nedbank as to what exactly was said. And my children, interaction yabo na Nedbank yo chimbra anamus.
Rikopayo chimbira zwavhuḓi nga maanḓa ngori vho ri ṱalutshedza vha ri vhudza uri tshelede dzashu dzo vhulungea ri khou ḓo dzi wana musi ri tshi ya banngani ya Nedbank musi ri tshi swika ra saina heyi session ino khou pfi o sign ri khou pfa ro vhofholowa badi uri ro awela zwino eḓela nnḓa a ri tsha ḓo dovha ra eḓela nnḓa tshelede yashu yo vhulungea ro livhuwa badi vha Nedbank.
Bank ya vhukati yo announce mloba urawa vha ḓo wana tshelede dzavho. Are you happy nga this announcement? Now uri investor guy ka VBS if nga kona uri vhudzi.
Nenda ndo investor tshelede ino fhira 100,000 hei no khambiwa. Fhedzi nga nḓila ye zwa ambiwa ngayo ndi khou pfa ndi khou takala uri at least ri ḓo wana 100,000 hei iṅwe ya hone u ḓo ḓi i wana musi milandu ya hone tshi khou ḓi tshimbila ngo to ralo. Zwino ri khou pfa ro takala musi ri tshi khou pfa zwo ri tshelede yashu ri ḓo i wana.
I'm not done with the people who are here. I just want to move to my left side, but let me indicate in a nutshell that what they are saying is that they were very concerned when a news broke that they won't be receiving their monies in the past because they used to sleep outside the bank with the hope that they'll be first on the queue to withdraw their monies. The old man that I spoke to was indicating that he has invested over 100,000, but at least he's happy that he will manage to get 100,000 out of the monies that he has deposited. Let me take some other clients on my left hand side to tell us as to how much have they invested with the bank. Are they happy with the recent announcement? Khabar budza badifahani nga khabasendra phan uri bank ya vhukati yo sumbedza uri hawa vha ḓo wana tshelede dzavho. Are you happy with the announcement? Zwiamba mini khavho na uri vha nga kona uri vhudza uri vho investor vhugai?
Rovha ro investor 57,000 ri khou pfa ro takala nga maanḓa ngori havha vha Reserve Bank vho pfa zwililo zwashu zwo vha ri tshi khou lila ri sa ḓivhi zwo ri tshelede dzashu ri ḓo dzi wana ngafhi. Zwino ri khou pfa ro takala ngori ra sokou vuwa ri tshi bubelani ngei VBS ende ri tshi swikela hone line riṋe vhaṅwe i sa ri swikeli mara zwino ri khou pfa ro awela ngori vha khou ri hezwi zwithu ri ḓo swikela hone ra ya Nedbank miṅwaha miraru yoṱhe ri ḓo dzivha ri tshi khou ya na uri ri ḓo ya nga zwifhinga zwine ra funa.
Yo vha i tshelede ya tshitokofela kana tshelede ya
vhone? Yo vha i tshelede ya mbulungano ye ra vha ri tshi vhulunga hone arali ni muthu o lovha.
Before I come back to you, I also need to explain that the lady I just spoke to said they invested, it was a sort of a stokvel where they have invested about 57,000, which they were not sure if they are going to get, but they are relieved now that their money is coming back. And let me now take at least the last two people who also invested with the bank, who were here with Nedbank. Khabar budza ba Nedbank ba re chelede yabo do i wanisa.
Ba re chelede ro do i wana musi arali ro ya Nedbank. Zwino hei tshelede ndi kale ri tshi khou ḓi ya ri tshi dzhia nga 100 nga 1,000 zwino na musi vho tou ri vhudza u thoma tsha mulovha vha ri tshelede vhathu vha songo tsha vhilela ngayo tshelede vha ḓo i wana. Zwino kha zwe ra vhudziwa nga vha Nedbank zwi khou pfesesea uri tshelede dzoṱhe dzo vhulungea ri ḓo dzi wana.
Ndi ḓo fhedzisela nga vhone mukala kha vha sendele kha nne vha sedza khamera vha ri vhudza uri vhone vho vhulunga vhugai vha ḓo bank iri mini vha vha Nedbank.
Nne ka saving account yashu ya vha yangi VBS ri na 34,000 ine ya vha saving account ra dovha ra vha na 6000 ine ya vha ka 32 days notice. Zwino ri khou nyaga hei tshelede ri tshi banka nge kha Nedbank yoṱhe.
Yeah, that was the last client from the VBS that I'm speaking to here now, but he's indicating that he had two accounts. It's about 34,000 and 6,000 that was on a 32 days account notice, and he's relieved that the money will now be moved into Nedbank, and he's just been assured that he will access his money. Let me also indicate that the session between Nedbank officials and VBS clients here at the hall, it's done. Clients are now going home happy. They know which branches to go to. And I must also indicate that Nedbank in this area has got about 5 branches that will be open to assist VBS clients. And they will stretch also to the eastern side, which is Malamulele, where they've got extra 2 branches that will also assist in relieving the stressed community members, especially the elders who are sleeping in the cold, so that they can access their money. From here, we'll be going back to the VBS bank to see if there are any other activities happening, because today is their last day to withdraw money from that bank. And it's back to you in the studio.
Yeah, I guess it's very important to hear from the people. Des, do you have a question?
Mike, can you give us a sense of the number of people who came through this morning?
Yes, and this hall alone, because it's the first day, we saw plus minus 400 people who were in a session with the Nedbank officials, and the officials have indicated that the session will also continue tomorrow, because there are members who are staying in the far-flung areas who did not get the message, but because they now have a database of people who were banking with that bank, they will be sending messages to them to say that they must come to a session, so that come Friday, when a car their time to withdraw arrives, they must know what exactly to bring along, the type of documentation that Nedbank will need from them. So as of today only, we saw plus minus 400 people, and we'll move to the other side to check. Must also remember that they've got another branch in Makado. We are not sure if Nedbank will go to the other branch, but this was their meeting point for today, and they will continue again tomorrow. And we expect more people to come so that they can get this most important information that they need, so that they can take the documents with when they go to Nedbank branches as from Friday this week.
Great reporting there, Mike Maringa, live for us in Limpopo. Let's get some reaction now from Nedbank. Des?
Well, just for some context, the South African Reserve Bank says it will prioritise VBS Mutual Bank's retail depositors as the bank faces an uncertain future. The Reserve Bank announced that 90% of VBS retail customers will receive their savings through Nedbank from July the 13th. That's this Friday. It says business depositors are not a priority at this point. And we're now joined in terms of Nedbank's role by David Schwegmann, the Divisional Executive for Retail and Business Banking at Nedbank. Dave, thank you so much for making the time. We were watching that report from Thohoyandou together. Does that almost give you a sense of the types of numbers of people you'll be dealing with come Friday?
Absolutely, Desiree, and thank you for the opportunity to engage. And I firstly would like to say thank you to the South African Reserve Bank for giving Nedbank the opportunity to partner in this very important transaction. Just in terms of the numbers, it does give us a sense of the numbers. However, I think over the next few days, the numbers are going to increase dramatically. Between the curator and ourselves at Nedbank, we have been sending out SMSs from last night, and will continue to send out SMSs regularly to the depositors, inviting them to the town hall sessions that are held both in Thohoyandou and in Mikado.
When did the South African Reserve Bank start talking to Nedbank, and what are the conditions for migrating the VBS clients to Nedbank?
We began discussions with the Reserve Bank about 3 weeks ago, so it's been a very short time frame, and essentially we will be receiving the guaranteed capital from the Reserve Bank, and will be allocating the balance outstanding per the end of business yesterday to each VBS depositor into their account opened in Nedbank.
When you speak about the guaranteed capital, you're talking about the guarantee given by Treasury and the South African Reserve Bank that goes up to 100,000 Rand.
This is the guarantee by the South African Reserve Bank only, up to 100,000 Rand per depositor, regardless of whether they have 1, 2 or 3 accounts.
So how will it work? Will they automatically become a Nedbank client, or do they still remain a VBS client?
No. So as soon as we open the account and the client comes into the bank and opens the account with the required documentation, they will become a Nedbank client. They will at the same time sign a session ceding their rights to the South African Reserve Bank and have no opportunity to claim against VBS Bank.
Have you had sufficient time? You said yourself there's been a short time frame, sufficient time to determine the authenticity of the clients, because there have been reports about fraudulent reporting and fraudulent transactions.
Absolutely. So the curator has certainly undertaken that diligence, and we will be undergoing our own form of verification to ensure that each client is the legitimate client receiving the funds.
What happens now to the work of Anish Ruplal's work as a curator?
Well,
how will this impact his work?
Well, the responsibility, 97%, and I think this is an important point, that 97% of the retail depositors are guaranteed their funds back. So 97% of those depositors now become Nedbank clients, and essentially Anush can continue with the work of the curatorship.
We're speaking to Dave Schwegmann of Nedbank, and I think we would like to ask our viewers to interact with us at the agenda_SABC, especially if you have vested interest in this conversation. The depositors who banked with VBS will have to go to a Nedbank branch. How will this process be initiated? We saw part of it at the Thohoyandou story, but how will it work? What do you require from that individual client who used to be a VBS client?
So between now and Thursday, we're holding town hall sessions in Thohoyandou and Mikado, where we have points of presence as at the Tulamalera Indoor Sports Centre. The clients are there being given information and education on what they need to bring in. We are also providing them with a document so that they can take it away with them and ensure that they have the necessary document. We have 4 mobile support vans in addition to our branch infrastructure. So between Thohoyandou and
So
Mikado,
accessibility.
there is absolute accessibility. We have 4 of these mobile support vans that will support between now and Thursday, and they will support the opening of accounts in and around the branches between Mikado and Thohoyandou.
In total, 22,700 VBS retail depositors that you will be dealing with. Are you confident you will handle the numbers? Nedbank is a big operation.
Absolutely. So we've looked at our infrastructure and hence the additional mobile support vans to help open accounts from Friday onwards. In addition to that, Nedbank has extended its banking hours. In the weekday, we've extended to 6 o'clock in the evening. On Saturdays, we've extended to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In addition to that, and I think this is really important, is that we have 25 VBS staff members that will be based in our branches at the mobile support vans to be a familiar face for the VBS depositors that do join us.
And they totally understand the client.
We are giving, absolutely, and we are giving them training to ensure that they are upskilled, as well as obviously understanding the client base.
Your conversations with the Prudential Authority, with the South African Reserve Bank and Treasury, have they included taking over the business book as well?
We have had no discussions regarding the business book. Our sole responsibility is the retail depositors and the 97% of the retail depositors.
Why Nedbank and not any of the other banks?
The curator would be best positioned to answer that, but I can give you feedback based on our press release yesterday. Proximity of our branches to VBS branches was one of the criteria. There was a comparison done between our products and our charges, or rather all banks' products and charges, and it was found that ours were most aligned and most suitable from a Nedbank point of view, together with our distribution network.
Can this be seen as almost like a gift to Nedbank?
You know, the way we've seen this is that we have had one ambition, and that is to get the hard-earned cash back into the VBS depositors' hands. We know the plight of the VBS depositor and what they've been through in the last couple of months, and our sole ambition has been to get the money back into the hands of the VBS depositors as quickly as possible.
How does this impact on Nedbank's operations?
We believe that we've planned exceptionally well. We believe that Nedbank has got the resources. We have called on additional resources from outlying branches. Our IT and internal infrastructure is absolutely geared to manage this transaction effectively and to execute effectively on it as well.
How can this, going forward, impact the work of your bank and your interaction with mutual banks?
I think our sole intention is to provide a delightful client experience to our existing customers and to the VBS depositors. And we are certainly going to go to every length to make that happen for our new VBS customers.
Any sort of challenges that you're envisaging?
We have tried to plan for the challenges. Obviously, the biggest challenge is not knowing how many VBS depositors will be coming into our branches and our mobile support vans on Friday. However, we have resourced for that as best as possible, and I think that we will manage it quite effectively.
And we can, without a doubt, guarantee the depositors that they will have access to their money.
Absolutely, 100%. Our VBS depositors that are now going to be Nedbank clients will have access to their money from Friday onwards.
Up to 100,000 rands.
Up to 100,000 rand as per their balance at the close of business yesterday.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Dave Schwegmann is the Divisional Executive for Retail and Business Banking at Nedbank. And as the story unfolds, we hope to have you back to tell us how you're doing.
Thank you very much, Desiree. Much appreciated.
Blaine?